tennis. You floss diamond, I floss fringes. Don't compare dentists. UPK, we men the wall shit. We ain't Christian. Harm one of us get pistol whipped like the gun got a belt with it. I'm bred different. The competition just a mill. I'm fed different. I stood front line on them fields. I bled different. I'd rather be a corpse than a coward. I'm led different. Shit, I'm led different. Come through like a juggernaut, so don't get in the way. And we take everything serious. We don't play. I wonder now what they gon' say. Shit, we make profits out of shooters like the NBA. You get slayed for switching sides, nigga. We ain't on the same page. Immaculate conception. Wow. These niggas bitch made. I'm sticking with the foundation where my bricks laid. You switch sides, I'd rather switch K's. You was never with us, nigga. Just know we on mission, nigga. Right hand hold the scriptures, nigga. Left hip hold the pistol, nigga. How you want it? You can get it spiritual or physics, nigga. Wrong ones to come against, so bring an army with you. No affiliation. When you see us, make the difference with us. No affiliation. When you see us, know we different, nigga. No affiliation. So no, you can't kick it with us. The wrong ones to come against, bring an army with you.
You ain't happy with what you said.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay, there you go. It connected.
Looking at my people and the casualties, misunderstood for having some morality, but my people damn spirituality, Lord knows. Just a young Hebrew from Killer, California. Used to thug in the streets with no sense of order. Used to love to press the line, even test the water, and almost lost my life from slanging and hanging on that corner. I learned to cut the grass so I could see the snakes. I had to decipher between the real and fake. And nowadays all these niggas do is hate. Treat you like a bitch, sit back and try to manipulate. Yeah, that's why I got it on my own too. You see me rocking with the Hebrews. UPK is how we do. Stand for the Lord, the mother niggas is see-through.
Where the soldiers at? Where the soldiers at? Where the soldiers at?
Wake your game up, my nigga. Ain't no time for this shit. I know you sitting back thinking that life is a bitch. Yes, my nigga, I understand. My nigga, I feel your pain.
Yeah.
My nigga, we gotta change. This for the king, this for the king.
It's safe to say we curse today, trying to find another way, but all they do is take away. Trying to pray the fake away while trying to find a safer way. Eat so we can face to face. Please, Lord, save the day, cause everybody at my job always got some shit to say. You might think this shit is crazy, but I deal with this every day. Knowing that we paved the way, I had it up to here today. Listen to the shit to say, maybe wanna catch this case, or even if they face away. But I know what them scriptures say. We gon' wait on judgment day, thinking it ain't coming, thinking the Lord bluffing. Waiting on the day is gonna be harder than the oven, though they treat me like a slave. Wanna see me in the grave, hate to see a nigga brave, hate to see a nigga brave. It's hard at my job, but I'll be too wise, knowing that this cracker's gon' get it no problem. It's hard at my job, but I'll be too wise, knowing that this cracker's gon' get it no problem.
Wake your game up, my nigga. Ain't no time for this shit. I know you sitting back thinking that life is a bitch. Yes, my nigga, I understand. My nigga, I feel your pain. My nigga, we gotta change. This for the king, this for the king.
Remind me before we leave, send me that bread.
Come. Yo, man, check this shit out, man. Check this out. Out there, just like you out there in the street, man. The street. You know what I'm saying? It's for our people out here, man. Yeah. Waking you up from the grave, man. It's 1969. Blacks, Hispanics, Native American, Indian. Check me out, though. Dead man walking. Bullets shots unguided. Same poverty, different hood, yet we divided. Bang coats like pirates. Inside I'm a riot, mind frame library, so I'ma keep quiet. I'm about to explode from the impact of this pressure. Slay fire breathing dragons as I march the desert. Walk with no sight, your faith will measure. Diamonds made from rock, now that's our body treasure. Born in oppression, forced to maintain. Yoked the iron, to wrapped in them prison chains. Animal instincts when niggas is caged. Resorting to violence, here's a plate of my rage. Action without a cause, you living with no life. Killing demons while it's great so you can get right. You say you want the kingdom, you gon' have to fight. Tunnel vision, one west, Lord, I see the light. Truth in my veins, as I slide on my shades. War scarf, shoulda David hanging from my chain. The world say we strange. Teach you how to change, one west, waking brothers up from the grave. Truth in my veins, as I slide on my shades. War scarf, shoulda David hanging from my chain. The world say we strange. Teach you how to change, one west, waking brothers up from the grave. Been at the end of the tunnel, I can see the light. Before I had a car, bus past and a bike. If you ready for war, let's knuckle up and fight. Who would've known a pair of black boots to save my life? Before I had a full time, I was a drug dealer. Blood on my hands, but never claimed to be a killer. Yell like a bear, stand strong.
Let's clap it up, clap it up. Yeah. All right. Let me put my mojo on. There we go. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. This is Monday night. This is history class. You know, we're going to get into a little bit of history. Today's history, what we're going to be talking about is we're going to get in a little bit into propaganda, and we're going to be talking about different forms of propaganda and how propaganda has destroyed our people, how propaganda has our people in a stupor, how our oppressor uses propaganda against us to get us to do his bidding and to keep us at hard odds with the Most High, to keep us in iniquity and to keep us transgressing against the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? All right, so tonight we're gonna pull up a couple of scriptures. We're gonna look at some things and talk about propaganda. The first place I want to start off at, why not, since we're starting off with propaganda, let's go to what we would call the beginning. Let's go to Genesis. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 3. And we're going to go to chapter 3. We're going to start right off at, let's go right to verse 3.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 3. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden.
Salakia, sir, my bad, I'm sorry. Salakia, start at verse 2.
Genesis
1.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. You understand what we're talking about here is we're talking about the spirit that's in our oppressor today. This was in the beginning in Genesis. This is the spirit that's in the oppressor today, but it was in Genesis in the beginning. All right, go ahead.
Which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, and God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Now, we're going to talk about that fruit. You know, a lot of what the Christian church has us to believe is that this was a literal fruit. You understand? So we go around looking at pictures and photos, and we are thinking that he was talking about literal fruit, when he was not talking about literal fruit. What was he talking about? You understand? What was he talking about? And this is the thing. This is a simple form of propaganda that Christianity uses to destroy us and to misinform us and to veer us off from the ways of the Most High. When it's speaking of the fruit of the garden, it's speaking of the customs and the cultures of other nations. You understand what I'm saying? So it's when it's speaking, anytime it's speaking of fruit here, right here in this context, it's talking about different cultures and customs of other nations. When it's speaking of, when you see trees in the Bible, in this context, trees are speaking of other nations. So you're taking the other nations' customs and culture, and the Most High in this sense is telling us that told Adam, and Adam told Eve what the Most High had what he had got from Christ, not to delve into these customs and cultures of these other nations. So when it's speaking of fruit, it's only speaking of the customs and cultures of other nations. Go ahead.
Verse 4, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die.
And here's where the propaganda starts at. You understand what I'm saying? He first asked her, did God say not to eat of the fruit of the garden? And she reverberated, which meant she understood what the Most High said, and she knew the direction of the Most High. But then the serpent asked her, what did he say? Did he say that? And she said yes, and she reverberated what he said. Go ahead to verse 5.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 5. For God doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened.
And it says, for God doeth know that in that day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open. You understand? Go ahead.
And ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
And this is where the propaganda starts at. You understand what I'm saying? It says, then your eyes shall be open. You will have understanding. You will have wisdom. And ye shall be as gods. You understand? And this is the thing, this is the propaganda that the oppressor uses on our women every day. You understand? Women love to be looked at as goddesses. You understand? And queens. You understand? They like to be put up on pedestals. They like to be looked up at, and they like to be what did we say? They like to be held in high esteem. So if they feel like they have something that someone else doesn't have, they like to take that and use that to their advantage. And that's the reason why God made order. You understand? And man is supposed to be over woman. Woman is supposed to be listening to her man. And because the oppressor has torn us apart so much with his propaganda, you understand, now we have our women running off doing what they want to do. You understand, unthinking that they have some kind of wisdom and knowledge that can make them or propel them up in the earth into the customs and the culture and put them in good standing with our oppressor. You understand? Knowing good and evil, women love to think that they have all of the knowledge that comes from our oppressor. Whatever our oppressor tells our women like to think that this is the standard. You understand? When the Most High's words, his laws, statutes, and commandments are the standard. This is what we are to listen to. The Most High told us not to delve into those customs and those cultures of the other nations. But these are the things that we do every day. You understand? This is the reason why our families are so torn apart. You understand? This is the reason why we are so destroyed as a nation, because of the propaganda of our oppressor. Well, in the beginning, in Genesis, this is where that spirit comes from. You understand? It comes from that serpent, who was the most subtle beast of the field. You understand? We get propaganda from the other beasts, which are the other heathen nations, but our oppressor is the more subtle beast. When it speaks of being more subtle, it's talking about him being more slick, more sly, more cunning than the rest of the beasts. You understand what I'm saying? You can drop that. You can drop that. You understand what I'm saying? And I was reading in this book right here. You understand, where I don't even want to get into that right now. I'm not going to get into that right now. But what we can do is go to First Maccabees. Chapter 3, verse 48.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
And this is what they have done to our book. When he say laid open the book, he's talking about the Bible. And it says, where the heathen has sought to paint the likenesses of their images. This is the reason why when we look into the Bible, we see pictures of baby angels looking like babies or naked babies. And we got John, we got Moses, we got the children of Israel looking like white people in the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? And growing up, I always thought that the people in the Bible were white because that's what I saw. You understand the propaganda that they work on us. They've been working on us since the beginning of time. You understand? And coming up, like I said, I always believed that all of the people in the Bible were white, and I never knew where we fitted in. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the propaganda that they use on us to have us to believe that, they are the people of the covenant. You understand? They are the people that the Most High has put his hand on. You understand? When in fact, we are the people that the Most High has placed his hands on. We are the people of the covenant, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and natives or the 12 tribes of Israel. We are the people, we are the children of the covenant. You understand? Those heathen nations have no say, and this Bible has nothing to do with them. But because of their propaganda, they make us feel like they are the people who are in, and we are trying to get in and be under them. And this is because we think like that. This is the reason why we are in the position that we are in. Because of their propaganda, we have been destroyed and ground into powder. And we feel like we got to get in, and we have to be in with them, when the Most High told us to separate ourselves from them. I want to go into this book right here, and I want to read, Salakia, sir, if I can. I want to read a couple of passages from this book. It's called Undeniable. It's the full color evidence of Black Israelites in the Bible. You understand? Is that too close? Got that? You see that? Okay. You understand? And I just want to go over a few things in the book. And I want to just read, some things in the book. Now, and it says, one of the biggest false claims in our present time is that Egyptians were white, which, like I said before, when you think about it, when you watch that movie Moses, or what is that called, the 10 Commandments, when you watch the 10 Commandments, when I was young, I always thought Moses, the Egyptians, and everybody was white, because that's what we saw. You understand? Not understanding about propaganda. And as a child, we never understood about propaganda. And at the same time, a lot of our mothers and fathers and our parents also believe the same thing, because the propaganda machine has been working since the beginning. You understand what I'm saying? Moving on. Even though all evidence points to the contrary, meaning that even though that the false claims say that these people in the Bible are white, everything contradicts that claim. You understand? It says we can see with our eyes that Egyptians were not Caucasian. Now I'm speaking about the Egyptians because, for the simple fact that when Moses met his wife's father, they thought that he was an Egyptian, and I'm just making the comparison with the colors. So just to get you to understand that the propaganda machine making us think that everybody in those times were white. You understand? I'm not saying that we are Egyptian or anything like that, which is the furthest thing from the truth, because the Bible tells us that. Anyway, it says we're not Caucasian, did not paint themselves as Caucasians, nor were they ever described as anything other than black people, right? Even though there was zero evidence to support the claim of a white Egypt, people still believe it because of the propaganda machine. Thankfully, there is tons of evidence available to support the fact that the Egyptians were black. One of the biggest treasure troves of proof comes from the 18th dynasty of Egypt, the tomb of Isupkbmore. Isupkbmore is filled with paintings of black Egyptians, black Hebrews, and black Hebrews on the wall. Like, it shows you that not only were the Egyptians black, but the Hebrews who they had in slavery were black. But as I was saying, as we watch these movies and these propaganda movies, they depict these people in the Bible and in ancient time and in biblical times as being white. And like I said, growing up, that's what I thought. I thought the Egyptians and I thought the Hebrews were all white people. You understand? Where was I at? The tomb of Isupkbmore is filled with paintings of black Egyptians and black Hebrews on the wall. Europeans have known about these images for centuries, but that hasn't stopped them from misinterpreting the truth. This is a part of our oppressor. Our oppressor misinterprets the truth to deceive us, and to deceive us into understanding who we really are, and misinterpreting the truth into having us to believe that they are the people of the covenant and we just the people that's just trying to fit in. And this is the reason why Christianity has also combined to destroy us, because even in the black Christian church, they also believe that our oppressor is the people of the covenant, and we just fall in as under the Gentiles who have been grafted in. And when they say in Gentiles, they talking about we were never Jews, but we were opened up into the covenant and into the new covenant. We were not accepted in the old covenant, which we were under both covenants, because the both covenants were only for our people. You understand? So this was a piece of propaganda that our oppressor used on us. Now, right here in this picture right here, I'm going to show you how they whitewashed. And the picture on the left is the whitewashing. You understand what I'm saying? That's them right there. This is supposed to be the. Can you see that? Okay. The picture on the left is the whitewashing. You understand what I'm saying? That's the whitewashing. And the picture on the right are the pictures that they drew their picture from. And when I say drew their picture from, this is where they got their ideas from. You understand? And throughout this book, it gives some similarities to help you to understand that this was a whitewashing. You understand? They never show us the pictures on the right, But what they show us time and time and time again is the picture on the right to get us to believe that they are the children of the covenant. So now when we see our oppressor, we have an infinity of love for our oppressor because we think they are the special ones. You understand? We think that they are the children of the covenant. And like I said before, we think we just trying to get grafted in. You understand? But this is a part of the propaganda of our oppressor. You understand? And scripture tells us, let's grab, hold up, wait a minute, give me a little bit of time. Yeah, but this is the propaganda that they use on us to have us to believe. What did I just do? This is the propaganda that they use to have us to believe that they are the people of the covenant. You understand? But we are those people. This Bible was written for us. You understand? This Bible was written for us and no one else. No other people. Give me, there we go, Revelations, chapter 18, verse 4.
The book of Revelations, chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
It says, come out of her, my people. What does that mean? Come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people means to come out from the customs and culture of these people. The customs and culture of these people go against everything that I am. The Most High is telling us to leave those customs and culture. You understand? It's nothing wrong with us living amongst them. It's when you take on the customs and culture of these people is when we begin to transgress. Us living here in America, we are living amongst our enemy. We are living amongst the heathen. And then what we do is we take on the customs and culture of this nation. When we begin to delve into homosexuality, you understand? Which our oppressor says is okay. It is okay to be gay. You understand? When the Bible tells us that mankind should not lie with mankind, that's propaganda. You understand? Coming from our oppressor when he says it's okay for mankind to lie with mankind. It tells us in the Bible that womankind shall not lie with womankind. You understand? But our oppressor says that's okay. That's our oppressor's propaganda. He says it's okay to lie with woman to lie with woman. When the Bible, the scriptures tells us the contrary. You understand what I'm saying? We delve into this, we get into these customs by eating shrimp, crab, and lobster. The Bible tells us not to do that. That's in the Levitical laws. You understand? We should not eat shrimp, crab, or lobster. But our people have fallen into that. You understand? Which is another piece of propaganda. A propaganda that was kicked to us way back, maybe about 20 or 25 years ago, that the propaganda that they started using was pork, the new white meat. You understand? They started using that. You understand? Go ahead.
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
It says that ye be not partakers of her sins. And we do just that. You understand? We partake in her sins. Just like we said, when you start eating that pork, thinking that pork is the new white meat, we partake in her sins. When we start to sell drugs, we have never been drug dealers. Drug dealing has never been in our culture. You understand? That's our oppressor's culture, to sell drugs, to be a homosexual. You understand? To do everything that transgresses against the Most High. All of these things are partaking of her sins. You understand? Go ahead.
and that ye receive not of her plagues.
If we don't partake in her sins, then we receive not of her plagues. But because we have wrapped ourselves in these customs and culture of America, we partake in her plagues. You know, this is the reason why we have heart disease. You understand? This is the reason why we're killing our own people. Not because it's a part of our custom and culture. This is a part of our oppressor's custom and culture. But we are receiving in her plagues. You understand? This is the reason why another thing, if we had separated ourselves from them like the Most High told us, then we may not have been being affected by this COVID like we are. You understand? Having all of these underlying diseases. Heart, you know, what's that? We got the highest in high blood pressure. You understand? With fibroids and thyroids and all of these types of different things. You understand? You know, diabetes and all of these things. You understand? You understand? Not to mention, they look at us now as though we are the homosexuals of the earth. You understand? When that's our oppressors' custom and culture. But that's another piece of propaganda. You understand, that they use against us. If we are only, if I'm not mistaken, we are only, what, 8% of the population, or 12% of the 13% of the population, but they calling us the most homo. They saying we are the most homosexually promiscuous people in this country. You understand? And it used to be where San Francisco, where white people lived at, or our oppressor lived at, that was the homosexual capital of the earth. And now they have it looking like Atlanta is the homosexual capital of the earth. But this is the propaganda that they use against us to make us do their bidding. And this is why we fall when it comes to following the laws, statutes, and commandments, because we're following the customs and culture of our oppressor. You understand? Let's go to Exodus chapter 2, and we're gonna go back to color. You understand? Exodus chapter 2, verse 16. Okay, this is what I was talking about in the beginning when we were looking at the color, the whitewashing of the pictures. You understand? Let's read that right there. We're gonna go from 16 to 19.
Exodus, the book of Exodus, chapter 2 and verse 16. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and filled the troughs to water their father's flocks. Verse 17, and the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and helped them, and watered their flock.
Go ahead.
18, and when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, how is it that ye are come so soon today? 19, and they said, an Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us, and watered the flock.
It said, and they said, an Egyptian. Now, we just looked at what the Egyptians look like. You understand what I'm saying? And they got Moses confused with the Egyptians. The Egyptians were black, and that means we were black too. The Hebrews were black. Moses was a Hebrew. You understand what I'm saying? But this is the propaganda that they use. Like, as I said before, as a kid, I always thought Moses was white. I thought the Egyptians were white because they always used people like Yul Brynner and what's the other dude name? I forgot the other white dude's name, but they used them in so many pictures where they made you think that these people, or we, or the Jews and the Hebrews and the Egyptians were white people. You understand? They made you feel like everybody was white and we were just people that were just trying to fit in. You understand? Moses was black. And it tells you the description of him, they confused Moses with an Egyptian. You understand? When Moses was a Hebrew. And it tells us that right there. You understand? As a matter of fact, let me see. Here we go. Let's go to color of Moses. Let's see. If I can find it. Let's see here. Here we go, right here. Here go a picture of Moses crossing the Red Sea with the Hebrews, with the Hebrew Israelites. You see that right there? This is an original painting of Moses and the Hebrews crossing the Red Sea. You understand? What does it say? It says, Moses and the Hebrews crossing the Red Sea, pursued by Pharaoh in 303 BC to 256 AD. You understand what I'm saying? Well, the painting was drawn between them. But this was an actual painting of Moses and the Hebrews crossing the Red Sea. And as you can see, these people are not depicted as white. You see that? You understand? And that's something that we have to understand. You understand? We got to understand that a lot of things that our oppressor tells us is propaganda, especially when it comes to him benefiting. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to understand that. Salah, yes, sir, I was showing them this picture of this original painting of Moses. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Moses and the Hebrew Israelites crossing the Red Sea.
Yeah.
You understand? So, you understand? We got to understand that who we are and not always take what the oppressor tells us as fact. That's what we do all the time. And this is the reason why we're on the bottom of the totem pole right now. You understand? You got other nations come in and they automatically step right over top of us because of the propaganda of our oppressor. You understand? What we have to do is we have to go back into our constitution, our laws. You understand? These are our laws. This is our constitution right here. This is our history book. This is the reason why we read from this book. This is a history book. You understand? It tells us everything we need to know about ourselves. It tells us all the problems that we have. It gives us a solution of how to fix the problems that we have. The only thing we have to do is come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Now, what I want to do is I want to jump back and I want to look at the color of the Most High. I want to go to Revelations chapter 4, verse 3. All right? Revelations chapter 4, verse 3.
The book of Revelations, chapter 4, verse 3. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. And there was a rainbow round about the throne, in sight like unto an emerald.
You hear that right there? It says, now let's read that again. It says, and he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. Now, if you think about the jasper and the sardine stone, what do they look like? What are the colors? The colors of the jasper and the sardine stone are brown. And right here on page 15 of the book Undeniable, right? These are jasper stones and sardine stones. Am I getting that picture right, sir?
Yeah.
This is the jasper and the sardine stone. The one at the top is a reddish brown. The one at the bottom, which is the sardine stone, is the dark brown. You understand? So remember, the Bible tells us we come in many colors. You understand? Like the speckled bird or Salakia. Did I say that right? I said that wrong. I said that right? Okay. You understand? We come in many shades of brown. You understand? The Bible describes us as the color of the dirt of the ground. You understand? Dirt of the ground that comes in many shades of brown. You understand? This is a high red, reddish brown, and this one is a dark brown. The dust of the ground. Salakia, sir. Thank you. The water. You understand? We come in many shades. You understand? And the propaganda and here's a sardine stone right here too. That's the brown. That's the light brown right there. See, this is the reason why. And a lot of another piece of propaganda is that we were raped so much in slavery that this is the reason why we got high yellow people, or high yellow brothers and sisters, or brown brothers and sisters to the darkest dark, because of the rape and the pillaging of our people in slavery, which is another piece of propaganda by our oppressor. You understand? And this is another thing that keeps us so divided and separated. They use that color system that the Most High gave us to a disadvantage to our people. This is the reason why we can't come together like we should. But this is the reason why we need to start reading this Bible, because this Bible explains to us. The Bible tells us that we are a special people. And being special doesn't only hold us to being athletically special. We are special in wisdom, not only special in wisdom, but in the way the Most High makes us. You understand? And that goes to, we come from the highest yellow to the darkest black. You understand? That's being special too, because all nations don't have it the way we have it. You understand? We are a special people unto himself. The Most High has made us a special people unto himself. You understand? And right here, we got a picture of David, King David, right here. This is a picture of King David. Can you see that? Let me know if I got that straight. That's a picture of King David. And it says, and he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy and with all of a beautiful countenance. This is from 1 Samuel, the 16th chapter, the 12th verse. A beautiful countenance and a goodly look to look to. And the Lord said, arise, anoint him, for this is he. This is a picture of King David. You understand? Can you see that? You know that? This is an actual drawing. Okay, got that? Of King David. Now, you have to understand, what does it mean? What does the word ruddy mean? You understand what I'm saying? What does ruddy mean? Ruddy is basically a reddish brown. You understand? Ruddy is a reddish brown. And when you say reddish, it doesn't mean an actual red, but it's that red that's right on the cusp. It's a really dark, it's on the dark side of a brown. And I'm going to give you a picture. Right here, if you look at this picture, can you see that, sir? A little closer. See the picture at the top? Those are unpolished rubies. Those unpolished rubies, before they are bright red, are a ruddy red, which is a brownish red. If you see the cow that's at the bottom, this is a ruddy cow, which is a brown cow. Ruddy just means brown. You understand? And you can see the two children on the side right there. That's ruddy. Got that, sir? No, hold up, wait a minute. Salaki. You see that? You understand? We have to understand when we reading the words in the Bible are placed in the Bible for a particular reason. The words in the Bible are placed in the Bible to help you to understand who you are and who our oppressor isn't. You understand? Right now, our oppressor is over in Israel claiming to be the Jew, claiming to be us. You understand? When we read in the Bible that the Jews were black, you understand? The Jews were black, and we have to understand that our oppressor has stolen our identity, which is the first, what do they call it? First documented case of identity theft. You understand? In the Bible. You understand? They tell us that they have stolen our identity. You understand? We have to understand who we are, but because we don't read the laws, statutes, and commandments, because we don't get into class and get some understanding and get these scriptures and things broken down to us, we keep believing the propaganda of our oppressor. The propaganda of our oppressor is only to further destroy our people. But this is the reason why the Most High raised up the Isupkbmore. He has brought this truth back into the earth. You understand? Under Commanding General Yohana, to give our people hope and to bring our people up out of the hole that we are in, to give our people truth, to give our people understanding of who they are and who we are not. We keep running around thinking that we are Gentiles. We are not Gentiles. We are the people of the covenant. We are the people of the promise of the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? Let's get some understanding, right? Let's go to Psalms 58. Psalms 58, verse 3 and 4. Oh, no, Salakia, sir. My fault. Wrong one. Proverbs 17 and 4. I got them in the wrong order.
The book of Proverbs, verse 17. So like in the book of Proverbs, chapter 17 and verse 4. A wicked doer giveth heed to false lips.
It says a wicked doer giveth heed to false lips. Listen, a wicked doer is always going to listen to false lips. When we follow behind our oppressor, and we begin to believe his propaganda, we're going to give heed to false lips. We're going to listen to these lies and these wicked untruths that he's telling us. You understand? Which leads us to believe that we are part of his kingdom when we are not. You understand what I'm saying? A wicked doer giveth heed to false lips. This is the reason why we have our leaders. You understand? Our so-called leaders, our preachers and our pastors and our politicians living the heavenly life and continually allowing our oppressor to destroy us. They are giving heed to false lips. You understand? They are here to destroy us. You understand? And our leaders are not concerned about us. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue.
And a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue. Everything that they are telling us are lies. You understand? When we go into that Christian church, everything that we hearing from our preachers and our pastors are lies. They give heed to naughty tongue. They listen and they reverberate that lie that our oppressor tells us to continually destroy us. You understand? We are a destroyed people because of a lack of knowledge. We don't have knowledge and we don't have understanding because we don't follow these laws, statutes, and commandments and get good understanding from the men of the Lord, from the prophets of the Most High. You understand? And as long as we keep avoiding and abating the prophets of the Most High, we're going to continue to fall into the traps and the snares of our oppressor. Everything that we're going through today is we're going through because we don't follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? We continually listen to our oppressor. We continually take wicked counsel from him. You understand? But they are all here to continually destroy us. Every nation that is in these Americas are here to destroy us. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's what's coming next. That's what's coming next. As long as we continually listen to our oppressor, we are going to continually be destroyed. We are giving ear to a naughty tongue. You understand? Our leaders are giving ear to a naughty tongue, and because they give ear to a naughty tongue, we listen to them, and we are continually ground into powder by our oppressor. Now, you got that article, brother? You got that article? Khan.
A black World War II veteran was beaten and blinded, fueling the civil rights movement.
Go ahead.
World War II veteran Isaac Woodard, after he was blinded in an assault by police. Library of Congress is where the picture came from that they drew it online right now.
And this brother, he fought in World War I or World War II?
He fought in World War II.
Okay, World War II. Decorated vet in World War II. Go ahead. Now, this right here, this is another piece of propaganda. You understand what I'm saying? And I want you to listen to this article and understand where I'm coming from, because this article is going to lead us into another story. Go ahead.
In February 1946, Sergeant Isaac Woodard, a decorated black soldier just returning from World War II, rode a Greyhound bus heading home to South Carolina. Woodard, who had just been honorably discharged from the Army and was still wearing his uniform, asked the bus driver to stop so that he could use the restroom. The driver reluctantly pulled over after calling Woodard boy. Woodard, who had just returned from more than 3 years of military service in the Pacific, stood up for himself and other black veterans, telling the driver not to talk to him like that. Man, I'm a man, just like you would have said.
Right there, right? It says he called him a boy and he stood up and told him he was a man. You understand what I'm saying? That's the propaganda right there. You understand? He called him a boy, and because he fought for our oppressors' army or armed forces, he felt like he should be recognized as a full man. You understand what I'm saying? This is the propaganda, because they don't even treat you like a man when you fight in their war. But we fall for the propaganda and think that we are more than we really are in their eyes. You understand what I'm saying? When in fact, you are even less. Even when you fighting in their wars, you are even less. And they let you know when you come back. You understand? Go ahead, finish the article.
At the next town, Batesburg, South Carolina, the driver called the police. The Batesburg police chief pulled Woodard off the bus and immediately began beating him, plunging a blackjack into each of Woodard's eye sockets and blinding him. Woodard was taken to jail, where he would later explain that someone poured whiskey on him to say that he had been drunk. He spent the night in excruciating pain. The next morning, he was taken to court and ordered to sign papers that he could not see or read. A new documentary, The Blinding of Isaac Woodard, directed by Jamila Epon, and narrated by Andre Holland, premiered Tuesday on American Experience on PBS. The documentary explores the story of Woodard's life and how the beating fueled the civil rights movement and changed the trajectory of U.S. history.
Listen, man. You fight for this country, and you come home thinking you are more than what they say you are, and they show you exactly who you are or who they feel like you are. You understand what I'm saying? They took this man's eyes out, took his dignity. You understand what I'm saying? And did everything that they could to accost him. You understand? And this is what this story leads right into the story of the brother that was pulled over in Windsor, Virginia. Did you see the brother that was pulled over in Windsor, Virginia? Pulled over in Windsor, Virginia, and because he thought he had that uniform on, and because he thought he had that American flag patch on his shoulder, he thought that was going to save him. He thought that was going to make this oppressor look at him as though he was more than what they felt like he was. You understand? But our flag, and that flag means nothing to them. You understand? It has never been a blue, what do they call it? The blue lives matter. You know how they do that thing. The blue lives matter. It has never been about the flag. It has never been about the veterans. It has always been about our oppressor. And because we fall into going into war with our oppressor, we feel like our oppressor is going to give us more respect. He's going to respect us more because we fought alongside of him. You understand? Do you know that, what is it, 25% of black women are raped when they go into the armed forces? 25% black women, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's 25%. I have a friend who it happened to. You understand? Back in that, what was that, the Gulf War in the 90s? The Gulf War in the 90s. She said she was raped in the army. You understand what I'm saying? We think because we go out and we put our lives on the line like our oppressor does, we think that it's going to get us more fame and more accolades, and it's going to give us more prestige when our oppressor looks at us as the same as go ahead. Okay, but we think that it's going to get us more prestige. That's propaganda. All of that, coming to the army, we can do this for you, we'll give you college funds, and all of that is bull. You understand? Look how many army vets are on the street when they come and they leave that army and they come home and they don't have anything. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of those are black veterans on the street. You understand? They talk about they take care of their own. Yeah, they do. The oppressor takes care of the oppressor. And this is what we have to understand. We have to understand that we have to take care of our own. Stop falling for the oppressor's lies. Go ahead.
2 months after he was blinded, Woodard traveled to New York, where he met with Walter White, Executive Secretary of the NAACP. The NAACP legal team, led by Thurgood Marshall, had been looking for civil rights cases that could help dramatize the impact of Jim Crow laws, lynching, white supremacy, police brutality, and racial violence committed against black people.
More propaganda. You understand? They're not looking for cases just to help people. They're just looking for cases to make them more prominent. You understand? To give them more stature in our oppressor's society, in our oppressor's government, in our oppressor's hills and mountains. You understand? That's what they're looking for. You understand? They ain't looking for, they never really, just think about it. Look at the NAACP today. The NAACP comes out and does nothing except for anything that's going to help them further their cause and make them look more better. Go ahead. Go ahead, finish that.
Hundreds of black veterans have been attacked and an unknown number were lynched. The NAACP offices were filled with howling reports of black veterans lynched. One black veteran had been murdered for casting a vote in a primary.
Think about that, right? Look at them. They have been murdered, lynched. Veterans. These are people who fought for this country. Just like the brother the other night fought for this country. He did 3 tours. 3 tours. And he said, I am a veteran. You understand? Like it was going to make them, oh, wait a minute, we gotta, no. That's not what the oppressor does. You understand? And they ate him for dinner just like they do the rest of us. They treated him just like they treated the rest of us. You understand? There was no difference. This was a brother, and he was black and Hispanic. He was both. You understand? He had a thing of both. I don't know who his mother or his father was, but you understand? Because he fought in the oppressor's army, he thought that was going to give him leeway, when in fact it did just the opposite. Because more than that army uniform, they saw his color. You understand? They knew exactly who he was. You understand? And they treated him as such, just like they treat us all today. This is the reason why the Most High tells us to do what? He tells us to separate ourselves from them. We are a holy people. What does holy mean? Holy means to be separate. He has separated us from them. You understand? He divided the nations. He made the borders of the nation. Why did he border the nations? Because the nations were supposed to be separate. You understand? But we want to fall into Christianity, and Martin Luther King has totally destroyed our people. You got something? Yeah, there we go. Let's grab that. Matter of fact, let's do that. Let's grab that scripture. That's
the book of Ephesians 2 and verse 1. And you have he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sin, wherein in time past ye walked according to the course of this world.
Where in times past we walked according to the course of this world. When times past we delved in the customs and culture of this nation. You understand? We delved in homosexuality. You understand? We delved in drug use. You understand? We did all of the things that according to this world. Go ahead.
According to the prince of the power of the air.
According to the prince of the power of the air. You understand? The prince of the power of the air. You understand? We talking about they got the power over the airwaves. You understand? Over the radio stations. These are the princes of the power of the air. They have the power over the internet. They have the power over us seeing what we see, the propaganda that we see, the lies that they spew. This is the prince of the power of the air over the radio waves. All of the music that we hear that tells our women that they can be whores, to tell our brothers that they can be homosexuals. You understand? This is the prince of the power of the air. They control the radio waves. They control the cable station. They control all of these things that we see that goes through the air. You understand? Go ahead.
The spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience.
It says the spirit that worketh in the children of disobedience. They talking about what you see right now. When you see, what's her name? Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B on stage twerking, and what do they call them? They say what do they call them? Said this is the power of the woman. This is the woman's power. This is bull. This is bull. You understand? They make us look like garbage, and they have these women representing us. This is the power. This is the prince of the power of the air. They control everything that we see about our people. They control all the propaganda that makes us look negative. Just like every time you see on TV, you see brothers getting locked up. You see brothers getting shot and killed in the street. The propaganda that you hear is, oh, George Floyd was taking drugs. Oh, Eric Garner was selling loose cigarettes. You understand? Or Philando Castile had a gun. You understand what I'm saying? This is the prince of the power of the air. When we hear these things, when we see these things, that makes us look negative at our own people. You understand? And we trust in our oppressor. And then right after we see the negative of our people, then we see the propaganda of their people, making their people look like, oh, we have to come out and help them. We have to do this. We have to save the whales, save the dogs, and all of these things. And we look at them like they are oh so good. When they are the prince of the power of the air. They are the ones controlling what we think. They are the ones controlling what we see. You understand? But we got to come back. Go ahead, sir.
A lot of our people don't understand the power of propaganda. Right? Being in the computer industry, I can tell you that companies pay billions of dollars to have access to your online activity. Meaning this, if you have a particular kind of car, and they know how old your car is, they're going to know that you're going to need certain type of oils to keep that car running, certain type of parts to keep that car running. They're going to listen to the microphone of you talking through your phone. I need antifreeze. Different companies of antifreeze is going to show up on your phone, and you don't even know why. You turn on your phone, you're looking at it, and you got different companies with different products of antifreeze. It's because you just said it. Exactly. Half an hour ago, you didn't understand what was going on. They are processing your data to push you in a certain direction. They do it with politics, to get you to be a stinking Democrat, to get you to believe that Democrats actually care about black people when they don't. That's what propaganda is. It is to make you believe something that you otherwise would not believe is very powerful. And the oppressor has been doing it, and he looked into getting this done back before 70 AD. They were putting their pictures in the Bible. They were actually studying propaganda and how it affects the mind. In every white society or country, they have had what you would call a minister of propaganda, like they had in Nazi Germany, who was Joseph Goebbels. He was a minister of propaganda. He was a executive of lies, as to push an agenda that was not true. This is the basis of every white society, and the basis of white supremacy. So, go ahead.
Hey, listen, it's amazing that you brought that up, because just the other day I was thinking that, and I was thinking about something for the truck, and bam, it pops right on my phone. This is the prince of the power of the air. You understand what I'm saying? And when we speak in things, they listening to everything that we speak in, and this is the reason why the things that are happening because we think that it's just a coincidence when it's not a coincidence. It's a prince of the power of the air. And just like when you said about the Democrat, you understand? This is the reason why we get lulled to sleep every 4 years, because we believe that it's that we should be Democrats and we got voters' rights and things like that. This is the propaganda machine right here. This is the prince of the power of the air. You understand what I'm saying? And then Georgia turns around and do what? Change the voting laws just like that.
Yeah.
That lets you know that you never had power from the beginning. But this is the prince of the power of the air. This is how destroyed we are. Because the same thing happens to us every 4 years. You understand what I'm saying? The same thing happens to us every 4 years, and we fall back into the same trap. The prince of the power of the air. They control everything we hear, see, and speak. You understand what I'm saying? They control everything we speak. We start to believe that we are Democrats and the Republicans are against us, when both of those parties are against us. But because we listen to the propaganda, because we listen to the commercials on the radio and over the TV set and over the airwaves, we hear all of this propaganda and we fall for our oppressor. You understand? Captain Mashak said it best. He said, we like a jilted lover. You understand? Yeah. We like a jilted lover. Yeah. Everything, something doesn't go our way, we get upset.
That's right.
And then we run back to our oppressor, thinking that our oppressor is going to change his mind about us. Yeah. Listen, the scriptures tell us, who can make that straight which I have made crooked? Listen, the oppressor has been made like that. We can't change anything about the oppressor. The Most High has power. It says, who has the power doesn't the potter have power over the clay? Yeah. He made one to honor and one to dishonor. That's the way he made the oppressor. He made the oppressor in a dishonorable way. He made the oppressor like that. You understand? He made us an honorable people. But the only way that we can be a truly honorable people is if we come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, follow these scriptures in this Bible. The only place you can get the true meaning of these scriptures in this Bible is in the Isupkbmore Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You understand? But we listen. Like I said, we listen to the propaganda. You understand? The prince of the power of the air. You know? Let's get Psalms chapter 58 verse 3. We're going to do 3 and 4. You know, and we got to understand that we can't keep falling for the propaganda of our oppressor. You understand what I'm saying? And as long as we keep following in the customs and culture, and following in the customs and culture means listening to your oppressor. When the oppressor says this is what you need to do, you need to get out and vote. Voting has done nothing for our people. They gave us the right to vote in 1870. You understand what I'm saying? Our people has had the right to vote since 1870, legally since 1965. You understand? And from that time forward, from the 1870s all the way up to 1965, and from 1965 to 2021, what has voting done for us? Where has it gotten us? It didn't get us our own industries. You understand? Voting, when we had Black Wall Street was because they did not want us around them. But they realized when they went into their Great Depression, we were still prospering. Why were we prospering? Because they understood that we were the main cog to their machine. And because we were the main cog to their machine, they had to destroy everything that we had, put out the propaganda that we would need them, and had us fall into the propaganda of them. Go ahead.
Psalms 58 and verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
It says the wicked are estranged from the womb. What does it mean that the wicked are estranged from the womb? Listen, it means that when these people come out, they have no love or no attachment to anybody or anything. You understand? The wicked are estranged from the womb. They could care less about any other people but themselves. The wicked are estranged from the womb. Go ahead.
They go astray as soon as they be born.
Go ahead.
Speaking lies.
They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. We hear the lies every day. The one thing that I'm waiting for this George Floyd verdict to come down, just to see the how people react. You understand? You can't ask much from a beast. You can't ask much from a wicked person who speaks lies. You understand? You can't ask much from these people. You understand what I'm saying? That police officer, had he done that to another oppressor, he probably would have been locked up. You understand what I'm saying? But because he didn't do it to an oppressor, they say they fired him and he's gone. You understand what I'm saying? And he's probably going to be, in another 3 or 4 months, he's probably going to be in another district somewhere else, policing somebody else, destroying somebody else's child, destroying somebody else's husband, destroying somebody else's family. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb, and they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Listen, we have to understand that what these oppressors speak to us are nothing but lies. You understand? Voting to vote for them is to vote for a liar. You understand? They are only out here to destroy us. Go ahead.
Verse 4, their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
It says their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Everything that they speak, everything that they say to us is only to destroy us. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Go ahead.
They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. If anybody knows anything about snakes, the deaf adder cannot hear. You understand? And just like the deaf adder cannot hear, when you get in the way of a deaf adder, the deaf adder is going to strike you no matter how much yelling and screaming that you do. That snake is going to bite. You understand? And just like our oppressor, no matter how much begging you do to this oppressor, he is only going to destroy you.
Right.
He hears nothing that you speak.
Right.
You understand? He is only going to destroy you. Your cries mean nothing to him. You being a child means nothing to him.
Right.
You being an old person means nothing to him. The scriptures say that he what does it say? It says he has I'm speaking he has nothing for the elderly or the young. He doesn't care whether you old or young. He's going to destroy you in the same way. You understand what I'm saying? This is what they do to us. You understand? We have to come together and come together with our own people. You understand? We have to build this nation. We have to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and we have to follow these scriptures. These scriptures are the only thing that is going to put us back on top. You understand? We could be the head and they could be the tail, but as long as we keep falling for the propaganda, as long as we keep falling for the prince of the power of the air and keep listening to their damaging and destroying rhetoric, we are going to continue to be on the bottom. We are going to continue to be the tail. You understand what I'm saying? These people are only here to destroy us. We have to understand that this is what they do. You understand? Give me, let's go to Revelations chapter 2, verse 9.
Book of Revelations, chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
It says, I know thy works and thy tribulations and thy poverty. Who does that sound like? That's us. You understand? The Most High knows our works, our tribulations, and our poverty. But he says, but thou art rich. How are we rich? We are rich because we have these laws, statutes, and commandments. This is what the Most High gave us. If we follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, we would be on top, like we said before. Go ahead.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
It says, and he knows the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not. We talking about that so-called Amalekite. You understand? The Amalekites took out the first 5 books of the Bible, and look where he's at. He owns everything. He's saying he is us, but is not. You understand? They are called the Jew. They are Jewish. They are not the Jew. We are the Jew. They are Jewish. You understand? It says he knows the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews but are not. Go ahead.
And are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
But are the synagogue of Satan. You understand what I'm saying? They are the synagogue of Satan. They are the ones out to destroy us. You understand? They own the diamond district. You understand? They own the movie industry. They own the music industry. You understand what I'm saying? They own everything that we hear, see, and we speak. You understand? These people are out to destroy us. You understand? They are the synagogue of Satan. You understand? They have taken our identity and the first 5 books of the Bible, and they rule the world. They rule this world. You understand? So just imagine if we took our identity back. Imagine if we took this Bible and started living by this Bible. You understand? This synagogue of Satan has turned our women into whores. You understand? This synagogue of Satan has turned our men into homosexuals. You understand? This is not our rest. This world is not our rest. We have to understand that we have to come out of her. We have to come out of the propaganda. We have to come out of all of these things that continually help us to transgress against the Most High. That's the only reason why this oppressor is here. You understand what I'm saying? We gotta find our way back to the Most High. And the only way that we find our way back to the Most High is to get up into this Isupk, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, and get into these classes and get some real true meaning of these scriptures. Get these scripture breakdowns. You understand? And we can find out who we are. You understand? And how we can start running this earth. You understand? This earth was made for our sake. You understand? The world was not made for anyone else. This world was made for our sake. And when we say it was made for our sake, it was made for us to run the earth. We should not, it should be no one running this earth over us. We should be the ones running the earth, and everyone else should be adhering to what we say. You understand? And if we followed the Most High, we would be running the earth, and everyone would be under our foot instead of us being under everybody else's foot. You understand what I'm saying? But this is the reason why we're in the position that we're in, because we choose to follow our oppressor. We choose to listen to the propaganda of the prince of the power of the air. You understand? We choose to follow the so-called Jew. We choose to follow them into homosexuality, into destroying our own people, into eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, eating pork, and all kinds of other atrocities. You understand? But this is why we have to come up out of her. Let's go to Jeremiah 14:2. You understand? Because we follow our oppressors so much so that we tend to destroy our own people behind our oppressor. You understand? We got to come up out of her. You understand? You got that?
The book of Jeremiah 14 and verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
It says Judah mourneth. Who are they speaking about? It says Judah mourneth. It's speaking about the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. You understand? It's talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. It's talking, it says, Judah mourneth. What does it mean to mourn? It means to wail. It means to be saddened, to be hurt, to be saddened. You understand what I'm saying? Judah mourneth. And that's what we in. That's the state that we in right now. You understand? We are mourning. You understand? We are a destroyed people. We are mourning. And it says, and the gates thereof languish. What are gates? Gates are something that protects. Gates are something that keeps something out or keeps something in. You understand? It says the gates thereof languish. You understand? Our gates are supposed to be our leaders. You understand? Our pastors and our preachers, our political leaders, these are supposed to be our gates. These are the people that are supposed to protect us. You understand? They're supposed to sound the alarm when something happens. They are supposed to alert us when danger is approaching. You understand? It says, and the gates thereof languish. What does it mean to languish? Languish means to be destroyed, to be broken. You understand? To be basically useless. You understand? It says the gates thereof languish. Our gates are destroyed. Our gates are useless. Our political leaders, our politicians, our pastors and preachers, they are not helping us. They are helping us to be destroyed. You understand? And we have to build ourselves up. The pastors and preachers and our politicians, they sell us to our oppressors. You understand? They help our oppressors to destroy us. Christianity helps to destroy us. You understand? The Christian church has totally destroyed our people. And our people continually follow the Christian church. The Christian church is nothing but our oppressors. That's our oppressors' way. Go ahead.
Language meaning loss or lack of vitality, grow weak or feeble over time.
Weakened. That's it. Weakened, feeble. You understand? Grows feeble, grows weak over time. You understand? Our gates have been weakened. Our gates have been languished. Our gates are broken. You understand? They have done nothing for us. You understand? It says, they are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Now the cries of our people are gone up. You understand? Every day, more and more of the cries of our people are gone up. And every day, more and more of our people are coming back to the Most High. We have nowhere else to turn. You understand? We are a people who have nowhere else to turn. You understand? But we got to come back into these laws, statutes, and commandments and build ourselves up under the Most High. You understand? This is our Constitution. These are our laws, statutes, and commandments. These laws, statutes, and commandments were given to no other people but us. You understand? Matter of fact, this is going to be my last scripture. Psalms 147, 19, and 20. These scriptures were given to no other people but us. You understand? But we think that the so-called Jew has property rights over these. It wasn't given to the so-called Jew. It wasn't given to the Chinese man. It wasn't given to the Korean, the African, the Arab, the Elamite, any of them. You understand? These scriptures were given to us. Go ahead.
Book of Psalms, chapter 147 and verse 20. Ye have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments,
Slakia, sir, start at 19.
Psalms 147 and verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob.
It says he showeth his word unto Jacob. Jacob is the so-called 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? That's who the 12 tribes, that's the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. Go ahead.
his statutes and his judgment unto Israel.
Statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Who is Israel? Israel is the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel. Israel was Jacob, who wrestled with the angel, and his name was changed to Israel. He's the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. Go ahead.
Ye have not done so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them.
It says he have not dealt so with any nation. No other nation is privy to these laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand what I'm saying? His statutes and his judgments were only for us. You understand? No other nation, they have not known them. You understand? So as much as they read, this is the reason why they can stand up in a courtroom and they can put their hand on this Bible and they can speak the lies that they speak. You understand? Because these laws, statutes, and commandments were never meant for them. They were only meant for our people. You understand? And with that, we're an Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Been bringing this truth since 1969, and that truth is that the so-called black, Hispanics, and natives are the true Jews of the Bible, and the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We got classes Monday through Friday. You understand? From 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday, we have the history class. Tuesday, we got the brotherhood class. Wednesday, we got the biblical law class. Thursday, we got scripture breakdown. And if you need to know any scripture, all you got to do is get up in these classes on Thursdays, because our captain and the other officers up in here break down some serious scripture. On Friday, we got the Lashawan Quadash class. That's the Hebrew tongue. That's our native tongue. You understand? You want to learn a language, you need to learn that Lashawan Quadash. You know, on Saturdays, we got the Sabbath service. You understand? And then after Sabbath service, we go downtown to downtown Baltimore, Lexington Market, and we speak to our people. We feed our people the word of the Most High. You understand? We also got that Passover coming up on April 24th. So if you ain't got your Passover flights and you book your hotel room, you better book them quick, because it's going fast. You understand? We got that Thursday. That's the slaughter of the lambs. Friday, you got that mansion party, and on Saturday you got the Passover, and then on Sunday we got the feast of unleavened bread. Man, it's gonna be truly glorious. So if you get up in there, get up in there. If not, you're gonna miss out on the glorious thing. And with that, I'm gonna turn the class over to Priest Officer Kawan Palak.
Goddamn right. Give me a hand, man. Goddamn right. Strong class, man. That's what's up. Strong class. What the brother was bringing out was goddamn incredible, man. What the brother was bringing out and saying that, goddamn, everything we know, everything we've been taught since we were born on this earth, we have to question. We have to reject the logic of our oppressors, of the people who kill us, raped us, took every goddamn thing from us. Right. We have to stop accepting their boo. All right? Security announcements. We are the Isupkbmore out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. That'll be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10 means 10th in the Hebrew, and is pronounced Ma'asherah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord give you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Preach fund. Salakia. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy congregation. Remind Akim and Akwafium to check social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. The brother went over the upcoming holy congregations, which is the Passover. There is a week of events that's going to be happening down in Texas. Please join us there. It is the law. It is what the Lord wants us to do, is to congregate in brotherhood, to form relationships amongst each other, to do business amongst each other, and to prosper amongst each other. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. Imagim Shabbat, Imagim Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat, Yazimata, class dismissed.
Trying to find something to follow, had loyalty, every man tried to borrow, felt pain, and a lot of sorrow, got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke, living confused, about to lose hope, Pop got me on the side of the road, like a sideshow, he didn't handle no before I broke, now I'm set by the prison man blue, on this gospel, rap with no cause, trying to find direction, the world got vexed, picked up a bag, that's a better heard from oppression. But like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good break. Sometimes follow what is soldier, trying to find a good ship. Plus you hell, how do you excel? With the breath of life, I'm a believer. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword. All life, just trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain, and a lot of sorrow, got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Pop got me on the side of the road, like a sideshow. He handed dope before I croak. Now I'm setting fire, the prison man blues, on this gospel. Rapping with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad nigga habit, that's a better turn from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good break. Sometimes the follower is a soldier, trying to find a good ship. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? With them the breath of life, I'm believing fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword with his